All these Netflix shows were brand new, brand new. I watched a brief portion of Iron Fist season 2. I said, well, this looks fine and self-contained, but let's see what was season 1. And I remember after like 10 minutes I switched it off and said, this was not good. I'm happy I did not watch this. Do I remember what my complaints were? Obviously not. It wasn't the point. I would just got the general feeling. I didn't analyze or anything. So I had really no expectations for this, and I was ready to just skim through all this. I still leave an entire day for the show, so technically I leave enough time to claim I could have watched it if I really wanted to in its entirety. I didn't want it to, and I did not. But, this being a social experiment, I expect anyone trying to do this catching up thing will also just skip through the most derogative and needless stuff, even skipping through entire seasons of shows and that kind of stuff. Now, what I think of this season, not the entire show, it has 2 seasons, but just this one. I want to start with the positives because this has definitely good sides. Like, I like the color palettes. I like that he doesn't have the costume from the comic book that looked ridiculous. I would still go with the green pajama, but otherwise that red thing on the head is just no, thank you. Now that would be like trying to do a comic book accurate Electro. You would be laughed out of the country. The guy looks like somebody to have fun hanging around with. He's not that ultra serious Daredevil or Luke Cage, or it's more like a Johnny Cage character, and he though can do instant backflips over a speeding car, which just came out of nowhere, and didn't notice when stepped off the walkway. So yeah, sure, he's a fun character. He's not that serious and bright and sunny, and it's a fine foundation for a show. The idea behind it is even acceptable. Like, the guy gets lost as a kid, like Tarzan or whoever, in the jungle for 15 years, then comes back, everything changed. Technology, especially here in the 21st century, just ran ahead, and he has to come back to life, so to say, bureaucracy and all that. And that would have been the way to go. Seriously, because who are the main characters in the show? Mr. Iron Fist. There is that dojo leading woman who is kind of love interest and all that kind of stuff, and the big business of the family, which dude, you were dead for 15 years. We don't need you anymore. We don't want you anymore. And that would be a hell of a lot of paperwork, and everybody went on their way. It's 15 years. Deal with it. So, how this season should have been done is, guy comes, goes to this, finds out everybody who knew him would recognize him died, and the company does not want anything from him. Would he be thrown out of the building? No. First, the receptionist would give him an appointment, or tell him that, sorry dude, I don't know what's your problem, who you want to meet with is dead like more than a decade ago, so what can I do for you? That's what the receptionist for. And the security walking guy, what's this, a mafia building? If not, the security comes, what do you want, dude? Oh, you insist talking with this guy. You have no weapons. You really don't look like anything. You tell what you want. And okay, the receptionist is an idiot. I take you to who you want to work with, especially after you pummeled like half a dozen of the security boys who were too idiot to do their job and went into mafia mode instantly. So go there, have a discussion, go out. The dude clearly told that he just want to talk with the appropriate person. So that's not how it would have been there. Then the guy should have been on the street as a beggar, a homeless, unemployed person. But the office building, this wall skyscraper, the rich people would not have antagonized this guy because there is a way to prove for him he is who he is. We, the audience, know who he is, and thus we know that he knows he is who he says he is. The way how rich people work is they not antagonize anybody on a scorchers ground unless they are really, I take away all your companies and hostile takeover and all that. So they would say, dude, come back with the paperwork, you are considered dead, we have too much work to do, now you have no papers, and we have papers that you are dead, so find a lawyer. And that's what he should have been done. When he meets karate kung fu lady on the street, he should have been hired by her, and he should have become this martial artist teacher. And he should have go to the competition and win money to run the club, the dojo. That would have made sense. And then he get a lawyer like Matt Murdock, or Carrie Ann Moss, or whoever, the Matrix lady. I don't know what he's running right now. Probably a lawyer firm, or I don't know. He seemed to have something else, but either way, get that involved and get some paperwork and all this, learning the company, how it works currently, and figure out what exactly he can get back as 15 years passed, so his shares and money went to who knows to whom, and was circulating the market, obviously. So, and while doing that, he should have fight the current villain. But as you figured out, the show did not go this way. The dojo lady just exists in the background and should be cut out because she does nothing. For the last couple of episodes, she becomes the conflictual love interest because she's member or ex-member of the Hand. And there is all of this. All season 1 is a setup, an origin story for Iron Fist. He isn't really the Iron Fist currently. For like 2/3 of the season, the Hand is built up to be the big evil, but we know that in the Hand will be the big thing in Defenders. So it obviously cannot be the main antagonist, or the show is just some prequel stuff. And Mr. Iron Fist gets back his position like in episode 3 or at worst 4, at most 4. So this really doesn't go anywhere, and they have to fill up the runtime because the writers aren't on the top. So there is another member of the family who died, but they did not die, and now comes back to take back his position. Actually, he actually died, or was on stage 5 cancer from the 4 stages, and became an immortal zombie by the magic of the Hand. Seriously? We are doing this again? The protagonist is fighting himself, except Mr. Rich Guy, Mr. Immortal Zombie, doesn't have martial arts skills. Why? This whole season is, if I want to describe it with one word, is irritating. That's what it is. So I skimmed through it. It's really nothing interesting to keep in your head, except the last 15-20 minutes of the last episode, where it turns out that there is this Shangri-La, Kukumulka, whatever, this martial arts city, which teleported away because it got attacked by the Hand. And you know, there was a theme here. That there were a local guy. They really should have hired some Tibetan looking guy, not this, whatever this guy is, I guess Middle Eastern, but it's just a guess. And he was thinking to take the traditional role that this magic city has one entrance with some teleport gate and all that kind of bullshit. So he will spend his life laying on his spear or whatever, and we just hang around there in the minus 40 degree on the top of the Himalaya where there is no air and all that kind of stuff. Because the Iron Fist's goal is to defend Kunlun whatever from the Hand. But when you think about it, there is the dam here that Mr. Iron Fist, who is now an outsider, goyim, or whatever you want to call it, foreigner, immigrant. What was the people in the Shogun called? The white people? I don't remember at the moment, whatever. So he is not just, he goes into the big city and fights the hand out there. So his Iron Fist has this demo that he takes up a more active role. He really just not stand there and defend this one city, but he goes against the hand. Not just wait for the hand one time gathering enough troops to wash him away, but goes ahead of the problems. That's a good damn. I hope that's what's in season 2. But otherwise, I understand, I see why this season is faced that much hatred, disappointment, whatever you want to call it. Because this was not a good season, despite having probably the most promising foundation for one of these street level knuckle fighting superheroes. Because this had the mystical side of the martial arts, kung fu, chi, laying on hands, healing, and all that. And even got Miss Gao from the Chinese and heroin mafia take a larger role, and this actress in this role is just a perfect, one of the best character on these shows. She is good, but otherwise this family's friends who became an immortal zombie, and everyone thought his dad was behind everything, and he killed the family of Iron Fist, and who the fuck